Bitcoin futures, ETF approved. When's the next one? And we've got Mark Zuckerberg set for a cage match with your boy Elon Musk. Welcome to Debate Crypto. Question everything, trust nothing. It's your boys, Keeper and Crusader, and we are here after a long... Dude, how long has it been since we have streamed together?
Quite a bit, let me tell you. It's been maybe almost a month now.
Yeah, I think it has. I've been gone, Crusader. Congratulations officially on the new baby, bro. Everybody give Crusader a round of applause. He's got one more thing to take care of. He survived. The wife survived. Everybody's good to go. Beautiful.
The wife's fine. I survived. That was rough for me.
It was rough for you. So we shouldn't be worried about what your wife went through. We should be more worried about...
My wife had it easy.
All right.
She was creative for that stuff. I
was the legs
there,
up, hang out, no big deal. Just do the thing. It just comes right out. No big deal. Crypto fam, hopefully everybody's doing well. Let me jump into the chat. Let's see who was first today. First in the house, part of the DCA fam. Kenton, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Hodl or Die in the house. Brad Geidel, the crypto military vet. Love seeing our vets. Hazley Jane. Aru, am I going to say that right? Aru Basu, maybe, hopefully. And yeah, hopefully everybody's doing well. Let's have a fun day Sunday, or a Sunday fun day today. We're going to get into the crypto markets. We're going to dive into some of the topics that we've been seeing happen over the last week. And yeah, we'd like to hear from you, the crowd, the followers that are smashing that like, what you think about everything going on in the crypto space.
Yeah, smash those hearts. Now we got hearts.
Oh yeah, what's up with that?
We got hearts now.
Do we know what's up with that?
I don't know, but I'm assuming it's like a TikTok feature where you can just continuously tap, increases engagement, shows that people are liking what they're seeing.
Okay.
So I think it's a little feature. So if you guys see that on your mobile or you see it on your desktop, make sure you keep tapping those hearts.
I always tell people, punch me in the face on the live on TikTok. So feel free if you're on mobile, punch me in the face, or actually punch Crusader. He thinks he likes getting punched in the face once in a while. So just punch him in the face, smash those hearts. All right, let's check out the crypto markets. Whoopsie, just zoomed way in, and my computer's being funky. There we go. Let's check out the crypto markets. We'll start there as always, and then we'll dive into it. Let me update this. The global crypto market cap is at, drum roll please, 1.19 trillion with the T dollars. That's up 0.73%. Bitcoin creeping on that 31,000 number. 31.1 is what I'm hearing is the number that we need to really blast through. We're at 30,612, up over 15% on the week. ETH getting close to that 1,900 number, up about 1% today and up almost 9% on the weekly. Running through the top 10, BNB has been taking a beating. It's down 3%, but we know why that is with all the troubles that they are having currently. And then Cardano, Dogecoin, Solana, and then Tron jumping into the top 10, all up a couple to a few percent. All right, Crusader, before we dive into it, got
some TA for the people, man.
Yeah. What's going on in TA land?
Yeah, let me show you guys here. Been doing some studying. I'll tell you. Doing some studying. Let me see. I can just find my.
We can study to figure out where the link is that you need. There it is. There it is.
It's just one of the 300 tabs I have open. But I was able to find it. So as you guys can see here, right, this 31,000, this 29,000 was an important, annual level. We were able to get back above that. But 29 has been holding support here. We've tested it multiple times. Last time we ran up here to this 31, which is why you're saying that's so important. We need to hold above it. We've currently kind of, we've wicked above it and we've come right back down again. And, the problem is here, we have another weekly level here at 32,000, which is important, and resistance at 32.7, which is also really big level. But, this range that we're in, we've broke out of this range. The range was about 29,000 to give or take 26,000. We broke below it, retested the pivot, the quarterly pivot of 24 perfectly, came right back above, broke over the point of control, and we've broken past this range here. But there's another range back here. The previous quarter range is about 31.45. See this right here? It's where the end of the volume sticks kind of fade out. That is the top of the range. This is the bottom of the range. And this range right here, if I were to put a line, it's exactly where we're at right now. This wick, right? 31. We hit 31.4 right above it and came right back down. We need to hold above that range to start, exploring new price points. But then 32 and 32.7 are going to be rough, levels up ahead. But if we can maintain this momentum with all the ETFs talk and everything that's happening, we could definitely smash through that.
Yeah, for sure. We've got a lot of positive stuff going on in the crypto space. As much as they want to FUD, we talked about this on Thursday. A lot of times when you see FUD in the news, when you see all the negativity, you know what the news media does. They either try to distract you or tell you that things are going in one direction. Why would they do that? A lot of times they're doing it so that they can load their bags. We've talked about Jamie Dimon in the past. We've talked a lot about Warren Buffett and other big time players in the financial industries. And what they do, they talk bad about something because they know they have an effect on markets. They are then able to get in at a lower price point because let's face it, crypto is probably one of the first things in, I don't even know how long, that the retail investor beat the big dogs to the punch. And so they're saying, wait a minute, we need to be able to get in at these price points that these little peons got in at. So what do? They try to manipulate the news media, which then pushes on to you. People get scared. They sell out, do whatever they do. Listen, not financial advice ever on here, but we know what crypto has done over the past 13, 14 years. It's been up and to the right. If you look at a chart of Bitcoin from 2009 until now, and you draw a line on all of the bottoms, guess what? Up and to the right. There's a lot of play in between, but up and to the right. So hold strong, ladies and gents. We are going somewhere, and hopefully you guys are going to hang around with us and do it. All right. So one of the big players in crypto, one of the big players just in the world is the IMF. We've talked about them before. They are scary in many cases. They have back and forth on a lot of topics. One of them has been on Bitcoin banning. So the IMF capitulates on the Bitcoin ban, says they're not effective. The IMF is now suggesting that crypto bans may not be the best move after previously saying that countries should consider it. So as I scroll down here, it says the IMF is changing its tune on cryptocurrency. After suggesting other countries consider banning crypto, the agency now thinks that might be the wrong move. On Thursday, economists released a report examining crypto usage across Latin America and the Caribbean. Acceptance has varied in the region, with some countries like El Salvador being more open to adoption versus others that are more wary over the perceived risks involved. In their report, the economists leaned into a position closer to adopting cryptocurrencies, but within a well-regulated framework. It says, while a few countries have completely banned crypto assets given their risks, this approach might not be effective over the long run. I'm interested to talk to you about this, Crusader. Why would the IMF be going back and forth? Is it the same reason that the news media, are they trying to play games with us, or are they realizing, hey, trains left the station, it's not coming back? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's that. I think it's, they came after El Salvador really strong at the beginning when El Salvador adopted Bitcoin, made all kinds of threats about, not lending them money, taking back a lot of stuff that was happening, a lot of business things. And El Salvador said, hey, we don't care. We're moving forward with Bitcoin. And I think that really set an example for other countries that are now also adopting Bitcoin. We see the BRIC nations, a lot of rumor that they're trying to use Bitcoin in some way, somehow within their alliance. And this all builds back to the IMF saying, hey, we tried to suppress Bitcoin as much as we can. These countries didn't buy it. They didn't fall for the trap. I think we need to pivot now. And this also builds into the Blackrock, right? Blackrock putting into the ETF, Blackrock getting involved, all these. There was like 6 different ETF applications by major asset fund managers, all happening within 5 days, 5-6 days of each other. So this all plays into that. It's IMF saying, "Hey, it's time. We can't suppress it any longer, at least globally, right? News wise. So we're going to start moving forward with it." But I'm sure there's a few curveballs coming our way. They're not just going to roll over and say, yeah, crypto, everybody just buy it up. Let's go, Bitcoin to the moon. And I think what we're going to talk about later today, the new ETF, the leveraged ETF, I think plays into one of these curveballs.
Yeah, for sure. Bill Noble in the house. Make sure to give him a follow if you're not already following him. Bill says IMF does not want to fight BlackRock. European banks will follow. Better to pivot now than look stupid. Bill, I couldn't agree with you more. A lot of these huge institutions, they're against each other in certain positions. They're for each other, but the reality is, and we're going to talk about this more a little bit farther into the stream, BlackRock owns and runs effectively the world. They own a piece of everything, and like I said, we'll get into that a little bit later. But the reality is, there is a point at which you're absolutely right. Do I look stupid here and continue to fight something that I know I can't stop? Or do I just kind of pivot on into saying, yeah, it took us a little bit longer to get there, but we're here now. We're going to jump on board as it relates to adoption as well. So I think it'll be interesting to see where that heads. And this is happening all over the world, which leads us into the next article. A lot of you know that I've been in Brazil a couple times in the last few months. I just got back, and I was kind of paying attention down there. What does the landscape look like? The Brazilian real, it's spelled REAL. People will say real. It's real is how you say it, but ultimately it's about 5-1 right now. So when I go down there as an American, it's pretty incredibly cheap for me. It's expensive for them down there. But in any event, I was trying to pay attention. Okay, what's going on with crypto? And I will tell you, I joked around with some of my friends down there. They're not as advanced as we are, and this, that, and the third. They have some cool stuff down there going on as it relates to technology, one of which is not crypto related at all. Crusader, I meant to tell you this. They've got traffic lights down there that give you a freaking countdown, bro. Like it's beautiful. You literally sit there and it's got the big light, and then right underneath the light, it's got a number underneath it. And I said, okay, got about 35 seconds until I get to go. And I felt like it was such a simple thing, but I was like, damn, dude, we need those in the States. Have you ever seen that in the States? I haven't. Yeah. So at any event, I was paying attention to that, how they do their payment systems, whatever. Crypto was actually advertised a lot down there. And so I think that they are pushing towards that. And part of that is they're part of the BRICS nations, as Crusader was saying a little bit earlier. But check this out. So Brazilian central bank adds crypto exchange Mercado Bitcoin in CBDC pilot, including MasterCard. Okay, let's check this out. So Brazil's central bank authorized on Thursday the largest local crypto exchange, which is Mercado Bitcoin. I saw a lot of their stuff advertised down there, to participate in the pilot of the digital real, the South American country's central bank digital currency. We keep seeing this, CBDC. Also on Thursday, the central bank gave its green light to state-owned Brazilian bank Caixa to participate in its CBDC pilot, along with card provider Elo and Microsoft. Says our participation validates the central bank's intention to bring innovation to the financial system with those who have already been working with this technology, and not just with the incumbents who have appropriated it. We're pleased to be a part of the consortium selected to join the real digital pilot in Brazil. MasterCard continues to engage in a series of partnerships to build trust and compliance in digital assets ecosystem, while also solving real-world problems. So check this out. The central bank will begin incorporating participants into the real digital pilot program in mid-June 2023. So this is happening. Okay, we've talked about it. Pilots are going out, happening in the U.S. I want to know what you think, Crusader. Brazil is one of the BRICS nations. So we've got Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and now Saudi Arabia. And then there's some other applicants going there. They are looking at some different ways to back their monetary system. They are looking at saying, hey, we're going to back away from the dollar, which is scary for the United States. If you all don't realize that, it is a scary proposition, especially with Saudi Arabia lumped in there, for everyone to back away from the dollar. This will not be good for the United States. Now, incorporate Bitcoin, incorporate crypto, but it's kind of if you ask me, it's kind of a spin. I don't think they're so much trying to incorporate Bitcoin as much as they're trying to incorporate, hey, how can we just use this to be able to gain more control with our CBDCs? Last thing I want to say, the one thing that I noticed down there that was so much different, you could go to the store, and anywhere you went, bro, I'm talking about, I had a meal, and afterwards they ask you for your CPF number. Okay, your CPF number is effectively, it's basically what identifies you as a human being. So everywhere
is that like your death camp tattoo? number,
Dude,
serial number or something?
it's funny you say that. I joked around about that. I'm like, listen, this is wild. Why do they need to know that I went out and ate at a restaurant and spent 100 AI eating lunch? What is the point here? And they have like basically little, you get a card at the door at a lot of these places. You go through, you buy your stuff, it scans the card, and then you hand it to the cashier, and the cashier just scans that, which is really effective. And then it says, okay, I need your CPF number. And then I tell them, so American, like I'm American. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't have one. And they'll let me go, but they are tracking every single thing that happens. Well,
I ain't
guess
a
what the
slave,
CBDCs,
motherfucker.
what'd you say?
I ain't a slave, motherfucker.
Yeah. And what is the CBDC going to do? The CBDC is going to make it so that they don't even need to do that. You're going to walk up to the same counter, not even realizing this is happening. They're going to be tracking everything. We keep talking about it, but it's scary.
Let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about tracking everything. I'll get back to the Bitcoin and the CBDC thing.
Yeah.
I think I have a pretty cool idea on it. But Google, Facebook, I'm sorry, not Google nor Facebook. Apple released their new goggles.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if you've seen them or not.
Yeah.
But basically, it's every single application you can use on your phone and on your laptop in front of your face in augmented reality. It means you can walk through life wearing these goggles and still interact along with seeing everything digital. When you walk in to these places, caparinas, yeah,
those are slamming, bro.
Those things are really good. My dad makes a really good one. But back on track. With these Google tech, with this I keep saying Google, but with these goggle technology, eventually they're going to become contacts, right? Eventually they're going to become sunglasses, contacts, whatever they want.
Yeah.
And when you walk in, it's going to scan you, and it's literally going to show your number, whatever what do you call it, IEF number or EFI number.
It's down there. It's their CPF number. I forget what it stands
CPF,
for, but
whatever,
CPF.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna show you your number. Bam, they're gonna serialize. They're gonna automatically scan you, get all your information, and know exactly where you've been, where you were, and do all that stuff all digitally. It's gonna be tracked everything. So back to the CBDC and Bitcoin. I think these BRIC countries and other countries are going to adopt Bitcoin as some level of a reserve currency, right? Because you can hold more than one currency as your reserve, as we've been seeing. Some countries have been changing up their US for other currencies and, back and forth, adjusting their reserves. I think Bitcoin is going to start becoming part of that reserve structure. They're going to be holding a giant portion of some kind of portion in Bitcoin as well. And the CBDCs are going to be national, right? Like the US is going to have a CBDC. The BRIC nations are going to have their individual CBDCs per country to do what they want with their own rules, right? And control their populace however they want. But when it comes to international, I think they're going to go the route of Bitcoin because they know it's sanction free. They know that, they can get around a lot of these things. And they can do cross-border payments, whether it's Bitcoin or some other cryptocurrency. But I'm just using Bitcoin as an example. I think that's what the long-term play is going to be. Every country is going to have their CBDC. It's going to coexist along with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. But internationally, countries are going to be using not so much their CBDC, but their cryptocurrency. Especially if they're enemies of the US, they're definitely going to be using some level of cryptocurrency to avoid the sanctioned powers.
Yeah, they could, Crusader, I know you'd be happy about this. They could definitely be using XRP as well. So I know you'd definitely be happy to hear that we could have funds being transferred in that manner. That's a great idea. It does. It gives them options. It gives them opportunities to be able to make moves that they otherwise might not be able to from country to country. But within the country, hey, guess what? You're using the CBDC that we place in front of you. That's just flat out what it is. I definitely could see that moving forward. I like what Hazley said here. She said, if I know Americans, we will learn to jailbreak those and scramble the number that they attach to them. Yeah, of course. As technology gets better, we're going to have people doing all sorts of wild, fun things with it. No doubt. That's a good one, Hazley.
We got a good comment by Bill as well.
Yeah, smash that like, by the way, everybody. Smash the like and smash those hearts. If you're seeing those hearts, smash those.
Yeah, we only got 19 likes and we got 40 people in here. Let's get those likes up. Bill says central banks have figured out that they can't get anyone to accept CBDCs unless they first embrace Bitcoin. Bitcoin is their way of luring people. This goes back to what we talked about with Bitcoin being a psyop, being some level of CIA creation, so that the people accept it as our thing, our way of freedom. but it could be the luring, like the seduction of digital currencies to then get us into the CBDC. And it goes back to the whole World War II thing, right? Where the world had learned that you can't force people to give up their freedom. You have to teach them to willingly give it up themselves to be able to really let it stick.
RD said, "LOL, no way the CIA is that smart." We've discussed this whole thing on the stream before.
I think RFK will disagree with that.
I was going to say, I don't give him that much credit either, but we're actually on this next article. We're going to talk about RFK in relation to the CBDCs. Let me pull this up right here. So RFK praises Bitcoin, says CBDCs are instruments of control. In a recent interview with the New York Post, he added that CBDCs are certain to be abused. There's the man himself. Says Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a presidential candidate for the Democratic Party, spoke to the New York Post yesterday about several of his views regarding crypto, central bank digital currencies, and AI. So AI jumps into this as well. The 69-year-old has not shied away from controversy nor addressing views that might be aligned with mainstream narratives. One such topic, Bitcoin. So he basically said, I'll make sure that we have policies that support Bitcoin and the freedom to transact, which I think is really important, and allow individuals to manage their own Bitcoin wallets, nodes, and passwords. He added that he will only allow the narrowest controls that are necessary to prevent money laundering. Now, let me pause. All of these politicians will pitch to you their solutions. Now the question becomes, how much can you actually put that into play? He made headlines earlier this year in his keynote speech at Bitcoin 2023. We were there when that was going on. I think we actually might have slept in that morning. We might have been out a little bit late the night before. But he was talking trash about Biden's proposed 30% crypto tax and denouncing CBDCs. So he said let's see here. So he said in today, here we go. Yeah. And it turns out Kennedy still agrees with this potential opponent. He was talking about DeSantis. In today's interview with the New York Post, he touched upon concern, claiming that he opposes the central bank digital currencies because they're instruments of control and oppression and certain to be abused. This sentiment echoes previous remarks when he wrote The War on Crypto. Where's the thing? Here we go. He didn't hold back, highlighting what he sees as potential dangers, including AI's capacity to control narratives, create illusions, surveil our activities to dictate our behaviors and enforce compliance, and ultimately enslave humanity. Okay, Crusader, right here. Kennedy didn't hold back, talking about potential dangers. Okay, now let's put the two together. Now, we've been talking about CBDCs. We talk about the ability to track, the ability to everywhere you go, they know where you're at, they know what you're doing, they know how much you spent. They might pitch it to us in a manner saying, hey, we don't need, we'll get rid of the IRS now because we'll just put a flat tax on everything and just swipe your card and you're good to go. And they'll pitch it with convenience like we've talked about before. But now you toss AI into it. We were joking around about a topic that I'm not going to get into on here earlier about AI and how good the AI is getting, right? And so my question becomes, if they're able to if the AI is good enough that it can do exactly that and manipulate, the media is already manipulative just on its face. But we spot it a lot of times. You see so many different news broadcast stations, same exact verbiage, boom, 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 boom. Well, when the AI realizes that we're all seeing this, now it can scramble that, say the same thing in a totally different format. It gets a little bit harder to see, what's actually happening. Where is all this information coming from? And it can skew the vision of everybody that's looking at it. So now you're tracked everywhere, and whatever needs to be pushed out there, the AI is smart enough to manipulate you in that fashion. How quickly are we enslaved at that point?
Very quickly. And that's the problem with AI. Things will escalate exponentially, right? We've seen how fast the world has changed in the last 20 years. Last 20 years, smartphones weren't a thing. The internet was barely a thing, right? Websites were barely a thing. No smartphones, no applications, no online streaming, no YouTube, right? No social media, none of that. Just 20 years. Now everything has changed. You go back a little bit further into the 50s, absolutely a whole different world, right? And there's tons of people. I mean, you were around close to the 50s, right? So, I mean, there's tons of people out there that are watching this stream right now that were probably born in the 50s or probably leaving a little bit earlier than that, right? And it's like, they're still alive, yet the world has changed so drastically. Now, that was without AI. Now you add AI to the equation, you ramp up technology even faster, even more exponential. They're talking about by 2028 having artificial wombs, right? You no longer have to carry your child. You can literally put your child in an artificial
Oh,
womb
I've
and have
seen
it
these
grown
before.
there,
I've
right?
seen these.
We just got synthetic artificial meat getting put on the markets, right? And all these things you talk about this 20, 30 years ago, people think you would be crazy.
Yeah.
So now add AI, a machine that never has to sleep, never gets tired, has access 100% access to all information, right? It can comprehend everything at the same exact time. It doesn't get brain fog. It doesn't take time for it to calculate something versus another thing. And you tell it to do a task, or you assign it something. It is going to build out technology so much faster than any human can even comprehend, right? AIs have created their own languages right in front of their creators so quickly that the creators no longer know what
Don't
the
know
AI
it.
are talking about.
Yeah.
They can't even comprehend the language. So that's how quick things can escalate.
Yeah.
So adding CBDCs, AI, and control, we're going to end up like some crazy sci-fi movie where there's literally an AI overlord. I've said before, an AI president, right? There's
Yeah.
going to be an AI overlord that we're all just going to bow down to it because it's going to be watching you at all times, everywhere you go, every little screen that is available in the entire world. That AI can see you through there, know exactly what you're saying, and it will track everybody, and everybody's just going to have to bow down to it. It's going to be almost like a
Minority Report of
Minority
sorts.
Report, or have you seen the movie Oblivion with Tom Cruise? There's
Yep.
like the alien spaceship is a giant AI,
Yeah.
right? It's gonna be like that. It's like that's where we're headed if we keep playing these games.
We're all gonna inadvertently become, or a lot of people are gonna inadvertently just become NPCs, and it's not even gonna be the fact that they're willfully just burying their head in the
That's
sand.
Elon Musk's fault.
Well, Elon Musk
is gonna make everybody NPCs.
Well, okay, so let's talk that. Elon Musk, and then the other person involved in a lot of the social media, obviously, growth over the years, has been Mark Zuckerberg. I alluded to it at the start of the show. They're talking about having a cage match. Okay, when I first saw this, I was like, "There's not a chance that this is real." Let me pull this up, and let's talk about this. I want to, hey, Crusader, can you toss a poll into the chat real quick? So Crusader's going to toss a poll in the chat. I want to know from everybody in the chat, who thinks that Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk are actually going to fight, or do we want to know who's going to win the fight?
Who wins?
Okay. Who wins. All right. Let's go with who wins the fight, assuming that they do fight. Check this out. I'm going to pull this up while he's pulling that up. Will Elon Musk fight Mark Zuckerberg in a cage? You can bet on it. As a potential battle between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg looms, crypto gamblers are placing bets via Polymarket. Here's the two of them now. I have a funny thing to tell you that Crusader told me a little bit ago here in a minute. Twitter versus Meta, Musk versus Zuck. Will the battle of the social media titans happen? Well, now you can bet on it, quite literally. Rumors of an official cage match between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg began to circle after Musk tweeted that he'd be, quote, up for a cage match if he is. Zuckerberg screenshotted this tweet, posting it on his Instagram story with the caption, "Send me location." That was a nod to the UFC fighter Khabib. I forget how you say his last name. I'm not even going to try. As online speculation grew, crypto degens, as they always do, turned to a prediction gambling site, Polymarket, to bet, will Elon Musk and Zuck announce a fight? Currently, there's over 57K that's been waged on the majority of people putting their money on no. So here's the tweet. It says, "We do a little gambling, only on Polygon, though." And so here's Polymarket. Many people are saying this fight isn't actually going to happen. But for the terms, a physical fight must be publicly confirmed by midnight on July 1st. This is for the bet, meaning a fight in the metaverse does not count. I'm glad that they covered that because I could see that being a thing. "If this is for real, I will do it," Musk tweeted late Wednesday in response to Zuckerberg's post. Dana White told TMZ that they are absolutely dead serious about the fight and they're going to figure out a way to pull this off. Says, while this may seem bullish, the mixed martial arts promotions recently received backlash for announcing fights before contracts have been signed by the fighters. It's said to be by Dana White, this would be the biggest fight ever in the history of the world. Now, pause. Crusader tells me before, so Crusader tells me before the streaming, and this is the verbiage, so don't deny it, okay? Chat, help me out here. This is Crusader's words. "Bro, did you know Zuckerberg won a gold medal in jiu-jitsu?" And I said, huh? He won a gold medal in jiu-jitsu. So I'm thinking, how the hell do I not know that this man was in the Olympics, right? Well, turns out he won he got his hand raised and won a little
He won
medal.
a tournament. He won a tournament. And he won first place. And what's the color? It's gold, right? So it's a gold medal. You can't deny it's a gold medal. Facts are facts. Is it an Olympic gold medal? No, it's not an Olympic.
Back me up here. Somebody tells you that someone won a gold medal. Where did they get it? Right. And so, yeah, so he did win. And they were talking about Musk. Apparently, he grew up fighting in South Africa and this, that, and the third. Where's the poll? Did you get the poll up?
Yeah, the poll's up. 62% people say Musk right now.
Really? What do you think?
Say Musk. I think Musk because he's got the body weight for it. He's got the mass. I don't know how big Zuckerberg is. Zuckerberg. I don't know what kind of weight class are going to jump down to. But regardless, I agree with Dana White. This is going to be the biggest fight because the two biggest nerds of the 21st century
are going
out to fight, right? And we've already seen the success of all these other goons like the Paul brothers.
Oh yeah.
All these like celebrity fights, right? And Mayweather coming back to have these celebrity exhibition fights and how huge it's been. Now we get the two biggest like technology nerds that are changing the world, whether it's for the good or for the bad, making you an NPC or not. They're put them into a cage match to fight. I think it's also a big publicity stunt to win favor back from the people, right? Because it makes them relatable. Like, oh, these people are coming down from their pedestals to actually stand in a cage and beat each other, right? Like how you see
for a lot of money.
For a lot. I mean, they're gonna donate. Supposedly they're gonna donate the money.
They're gonna donate. They don't need it, but yeah.
They don't need it. Ain't no way. But they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I better get my paycheck at the end.
Yeah, let me get my paycheck from this too. Now let me say this. Okay, so I've done a lot of fighting in my day, and I will say I'm not going to be the guy that sits on the stream and says, oh, I've never lost a fight. Anybody that tells you they never lost a fight has either only fought their little sister or they've been in one fight and got lucky. It's one of those two options, right? Everybody's been beat up before. Okay, so if you actively used to fight. Let me tell you this. I had an experience years ago when I was at the gym. I was at my biggest, strongest, and at that point, I had been fighting for some years. But what I wasn't doing was Brazilian jiu-jitsu like on a regular basis. My ground fighting was probably the worst of. But I'm bigger than this guy. I'm stronger than this guy. And I do have fundamentally the ability to fight. So I'm like, okay, so one of my coworkers is a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. And he starts talking trash one day at the gym. And I'm like, bro, I will absolutely destroy you. Just shut that shit down now. Like, I don't even want to hear it. And I just kind of played it off, whatever. But he kept yapping. So one day there was a mat up front. I was like, bro, screw it. Let's go. Freaking threw the shirt off, went in there. And I got to tell you, I have never been choked out so freaking fast. I admitted on stream, it was free. Now I'm bigger than him. I'm stronger than him. But the technical prowess that it takes to be a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, I had no real concept or understanding for that. So what I will say is that if Zuckerberg is actually, it says he's been doing it for a year, so he probably can't be that advanced. But what I will say is that if Musk isn't actually like fighting or training and Zuckerberg is regularly doing BJJ, I would go with Zuckerberg because it is absolutely technically that. But caveat, if they're actually going to go full MMA, bro, it only takes one. I wasn't throwing punches with the dude at the gym, right? That might have been a different story, right? And so that's where somebody can catch you with just it only takes one good shot off the side of the jaw, disconnects from here, the nerve.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think. I think if it's gonna be a fight, I hope it's a real like full MMA
actually fight.
They're talking with Dana White, right? Dana White's trying to set it up. He knows they're gonna make a ton of money.
Will you bet on it?
Comment here says Zuckerberg is a machine of fitness. I agree. He is a machine. I don't know about fitness, but he is definitely a machine of some sort.
He's a machine of some sort. Yeah, we can see that. But I have heard that he is absolutely insane about fitness. So he might have some really
he's got nothing else.
Cardio and stamina.
He's already conquered the digital world. So he's got all the time on his hands to go out and train.
Will you bet on the fight? Will you bet on the fight if it happens?
I'll bet on
let's bet on the fight. I'll tell you what, we'll put it on the stream right now. So Crusader and I will bet $100 each. We'll go opposite sides. We'll do it as some sort of a little thing, and then we'll donate it to somebody on the. We'll donate the winnings to somebody on the stream if this fight happens. So we'll have some fun with it. We'll figure out a way to do it. I think that'll be definitely. I agree. It probably would be the fight of this.
It's going to be the biggest fight of history, for sure. Who's ever seen giant nerds that literally are not just nerds, but they are some of the most wealthiest and influential people of the century going to an octagon to go fight. Noble says Zuckerberg has nothing to lose, everything to gain. The guy's practically irrelevant. That's exactly it. It's a PR event for him.
It's a PR
to become
event.
relevant.
But then the question becomes,
younger generation are going to watch him and be like, oh, this guy's the guy that made Facebook. Like, oh snap, this guy fights.
Here's the last thing on this. Here's where I don't know that they'll allow this to happen in an actual UFC. You can absolutely go brain dead from taking a few wild ass punches in the wrong way, land the wrong way, whatever. It doesn't happen often. It is controlled. They do have on the little 4-ounce gloves. Okay, albeit. But I wonder whether their upper echelon people that do have control over are going to allow their insurance provider. Like, I guarantee you their life insurance says, hey, just so you know, I'm stepping away on this one, right? Like, I'm going to cancel your policies while you have this fight.
So much money.
I know. But
they can make anything happen, bro. Ain't nobody telling them what they can and can't do.
It'll be interesting.
Musk will just build his own octagon on Mars and go have the fight
on Mars. Have the fight on Mars. That's right. No holds barred. Just be more in a cage match up there. Smash the like if you've been having fun on the stream today, crypto fan. We love you guys. We are glad to be back, and smash those hearts if you're seeing those as well.
But I wanted to say, talking about these fights, right? Noble says Wendio versus Girl Gone Crypto undercard, right? I've said this before, and I've said it to you privately, and I'll say it again. I think I even mentioned it in my short about this exact same topic. Crypto fighting, crypto cage fighting. We need, right? All these cryptos are super tribal and they all have their own representatives. We need to start getting these representatives out there and fighting each other to see who really wins. You know how much money people will go and watch some of these people fight? You know, can you imagine Ben Armstrong fighting, I don't know, representing XRP, fighting someone else representing, I don't know, Cardano or Polkadot or some crap. I don't know. Can you imagine these influencers going out there and fighting? So much money.
I want in on that. If this happens, I want in. So, hey, listen, crypto fam, if you've got a way,
the royalties. I came up with the idea.
We just want royalties. That's right. You want royalties? I'll take some royalties too, but I'll actually fight. So let's get it. That would be a lot of freaking fun. All right. So, what better way to end the show? That was a fun conversation than with everyone's favorite, the SEC. Let's talk about what they got going on. The SEC approves the first leveraged Bitcoin futures ETF. The volatility shares 2x Bitcoin strategy ETF, that's BitX, is scheduled to launch on the Chicago Board Options Exchange next Tuesday, June 27th. So that's like 2 days. The SEC has approved that first leveraged Bitcoin ETF. According to the SEC, it seeks investment results that correspond to 2 times the return of the CME, that's the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, Bitcoin Futures Daily Roll Index. For those of you that don't know what an ETF is, it's an exchange-traded fund. They basically take bundles of securities, stocks, commodities, whatever, and they can buy shares of the ETF to gain exposure to that security or commodity, but they don't actually have to own them directly. In the case of the Bitcoin ETFs, there's been 2 main types, futures and then Bitcoin spot. But the Bitcoin spot has been the one that we've been trying to get, released for freaking ever, which is interesting because if we roll down to this next one, it says leverage funds use debt or financial derivatives, in this case, Bitcoin futures, as leverage to amplify returns of a benchmark index. That leverage can mean short-term gains for investors, but it can also lead to big losses. All right, here's the interesting part for me, and I totally agree with this. When we look back on the Bitcoin ETF saga in 5 or 10 years, this will be one of the most ridiculous aspects. A 2x leveraged futures product launching before a straightforward spot ETF. That's from Nate, I don't know how you say his last name, Garassi, co-founder of the ETF Institute, wrote on Twitter. He ended his tweet with, wild. Okay, I couldn't agree with this more, dude. They have been fighting for how long to get a spot ETF? So the SEC says, no. Then they say yes to futures ETF, a couple of them, whatever. Now they're saying yes to a leveraged. So the same people that tell you can't leverage trade in the United States, right, on all these different platforms. No, it's too dangerous. You can't do it. Not going to happen here. Not in my country, right? It's the same ones that saying, hey, we won't give you direct access via spot, but we'll allow you to amp up the leverage by 2x and give you exposure that way. What freaking sense does this make? How does this line up? How does this work? Why would they be willing to do that?
Dude, I think that what's happening here is when last time we saw an ETF in 2017 really come out, that was a big deal, suppressed Bitcoin heavily, right? Suppressed Bitcoin heavily. And if BlackRock and all these institutions are really jumping into Bitcoin and they want to continue accumulating as much, right? I saw some crazy stat that's like if the top, I think it was BlackRock, Fidelity, Visco, Invisco, and I forget which other asset manager. If all four of them, just them, put in like 4% of their portfolios into Bitcoin, they could buy up like almost every single Bitcoin that exists. So I think that this 2x leverage, right? They're allowing you to trade futures once again, now with leverage, knowing how risky leverage is. Obviously, it's not 100x leverage, but it's risk nonetheless. I think it could be used as a tool to suppress Bitcoin's price once again, right? Short Bitcoin even more now through traditional finance with a 2x on it. That's tons of money. It might not be high leverage, but there's tons of money in traditional markets.
It still doubles it up.
To really suppress
100%.
Bitcoin, bring it down, and then allow these institutions to continue buying up the assets to then when they launch their spot ETF, they're holding a boatload of Bitcoin, right? I think that's the big reason for this leverage stuff before the spot even happens.
Yeah.
And I want to quickly hit, sorry to cut you off, I want to quickly hit what Crypto Noble said here. He said influencers are going in the ring. 2019 was poker. This year will be karate combat, which is true because they're using HBAR. They launched their own token, right? They were talked about on the Joe Rogan podcast. And all the influencers are like Loudmouth, Crypto Mason, Meg, Mind Your Biz. A lot of people are out there for their previous event. So they're getting involved. They're going to be sponsoring fighters. I'm saying it right now. If this is going to be a thing, if influencers are going to be getting involved in karate combat, I'm calling out Mason. I'll fight him. He's got age on me. He's got height on me. I'm older. I'm in no fighting shape. He's an XRP.
Bro, all you got to do is watch a TikTok. I love Mason. All you got to do is watch TikTok, bro. I'm betting on you, bro.
Look, he's an XRP maxi, right? He'll be representing all the ISO coins, and I'll be representing Bitcoin and freedom. And we will duke it out, right? Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Bill, if you know somebody in karate combat, we're going to be reaching out to Mason. And this is just all fun, right? There's no hate with Mason or anything.
No, that's our boy.
Let's make it happen. Let's make crypto influencers fight in the cage.
Oh, I love it, dude. That would be it. Really would be fun. And it'd be cool if we were able to not only have a good narrative surrounding it, but then be able to do some good in the space surrounding having the fun.
Yes, dude. A great little spar section, right? A little fight, 3-round fight or whatever it is. I don't know how many rounds they use in karate combat. Simple, nothing crazy. There's don't even have ground fighting there, so there's no ground and pounds or anything like that. They're straight up, kind of kickboxing, kind of karate style.
More interesting would be, I think you should fight Meg, and I might. I mean, she trains quite a bit.
I don't identify as a female, but I can't make that happen.
It's 2023, baby. We can make whatever fight you want happen. Just decide which side of the ring you want to fight on and get after it, right? All right, I'm going to get us in trouble here. Crypto fam, we have had a fun stream today. Looking forward to what comes in the future. We're going to continue to, just as a reminder, like I said, I had been out of the country for a little while. Crusader just had his new baby. Just a lot of stuff going on, but we're going to continue to be streaming. We're going to be doing Mondays. We're going to be doing Thursdays. We're going to be doing Sundays. So that's kind of where we're at right now. As we get closer to the bull market again, we'll be adding in more days. This is just what makes the most sense right now. So just a reminder, Mondays and Thursdays, that's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern. On Sundays, it's going to be at noon. So stick around for all of the fun. Let's continue to smash those likes. Let's let get everybody involved. Let people know we want to get not just karate combat. We want to start doing some cage fights. People representing their favorite crypto. Maybe we can make this a thing. Have some
everybody
fun with
tag
it.
Mason on his TikTok videos and his YouTube videos. Fight BlockchainCrusader versus Crypto Mason. Let's make it happen. Let's blow up.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
And just let everybody know as well that we're streaming Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays, but during those other days of the week, we are going to be uploading content. So always keep an eye out. We will be uploading some daily crypto updates, some shorter 5-minute videos updating you on the news and certain things. So there is going to be content throughout the rest of the day, so you can catch content from us every single day, and shorts and TikToks and all kinds of stuff. So let's make it happen, though. I want this fight. Let's make it happen.
I'm all about it. I'm all about it. Crypto fam, if you've had fun today, make sure to smash the like before you get out of here. What'd you say?
Never mind. I was on my end.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's have some fun. Smash the like on the way out. We love you guys. We appreciate you. You could be anywhere on a Sunday afternoon, and you are here with Debate Crypto. So just remember to question everything, trust nothing. And until next time. Oh God, dude, we haven't been on. Hold on, back up.
Hey, I know, dude. You're old. You're getting rusty. You've been on vacation for like 3 months.
In fairness, we haven't been on together for a little while, so I'm just used to rolling through it. You know what I'm saying? Let's try this again. All right, crypto fam, we love you. Thank you for being here. Question everything.
Trust nothing.
And until next time, hodl
like it's hot.
We'll see you soon.